Hey, what's up everybody? NoLimitsNick here, and today I'm here to bring you my review of Destiny 2's brand new DLC, Warmind. With this DLC comes a whole host of sweeping changes, activities, bosses, and of course, loot for everybody to collect. Let's dive on and see what kind of stories, adventures, activities, and raids are available for us. First off, I'm gonna start with the story. The story of this DLC is very short. We're just sent to Mars to stop a hive army from destroying Rasputin, and we end up fighting a worm god, Zol, and his lackey, Nokris. Very short, very straightforward story. Nothing special really. I thought it was weaker than the Curse of Osiris storyline. But nonetheless, I would say it was comparable to maybe the Dark Below expansion back in Destiny 1. So it was okay, but I would say the real meat, the main course of this DLC comes in the activities that are offered later in the line. The first of those activities is going to be their new one, Escalation Protocol. This is a 9-man horde mode style or firefight style activity that you can do in the open world at any time. Fair warning, while this activity is available after you've beat the story, it is recommended that you are 370 light to do this, and by the time you reach the world boss itself, it scales up to 400. So I would not recommend doing this right out of gates. I would wait till you're around maybe 350, 360-ish, and then start finding groups to do this. There are plenty of groups, LFG systems, discords out there to find 9 people to do this activity with. And to the plus side of this, it is farmable. So if you don't get the exclusive weapons or armor from this activity, you can just farm it over and over again. And I have to say, this is probably one of the funnest activities I have done in Destiny 2 since the launch of it. I enjoy it. The ability to farm this is always fun, and just the fact that you can do this with 9 people in open world environment is fun. It allows you to use the open world in ways you never thought possible beforehand. So A+ to that. I love Escalation Protocol, and I hope that they expand upon it in the future down the line, or even make this part of your weekly activity. Very, very fun. Next up is Heroic Strikes. The modifiers have returned, and oh boy, do they come back with a punch. At the start of this, if you come back fresh, you're 335, you don't touch the campaign, but you want to level up through Heroic Strikes, you're in for a rough time because, they are not meant for that. You're gonna get your ass handed to you from start to finish, and there are certain modifier combos that can make certain strikes very difficult, if not damn near impossible, unless you get Exodus down. And at the time of recording this, you still cannot get into the final boss's room, so yeah, I would avoid that one at all costs. But I would say as you gain gear and more light, we will return to the style of just crushing these strikes into the ground. In the meantime, if you're looking for more farmable, easier strikes, go do the Nightfall. Farm the exclusive loot there. It's much lower and much easier to do. And I would say at times sometimes more fun. Finally, I would say we're going to talk about the raid lair. The raid lair, I would say different video, because there are things in there that I want to talk about in detail, but generally I would say I love this raid lair. It was amazing, and compared to the Eater of Worlds, there's no competition in terms of like fun, difficulty. There's just no competition in terms of it. The Spire Stars just takes it hands down, and I would say it might be a contender for a better raid lair than the raid itself, but we'll see when it comes to farming. Finally, let's get into the changes, the gritty details, starting with the exotic changes. Since Destiny 2 has launched, exotics have not felt exotic at all. There were plenty of exotics that just were either memes or just flat out terrible. And I mean awful, to the point where you would just either infuse them or flat out dismantle them because they were so bad. Now Bungie has taken a different change. They've done complete overhaul of several exotics and try to bring them back to that exotic status. Some of the more popular ones that I've seen have been the Graviton Lance. It was just a simple 3-shot burst, final shot being more powerful. Now they've changed it to a 2-shot burst, and now when you kill an enemy, they explode into a fireworks of AoE and can damage other enemies. It's so noticeable that I've seen players create choke points in the Leviathan raid in Callus's room, and they just shoot one little mob, and all of a sudden everyone else is just dead from explosions. Very, very cool to see. And it brought back the idea of knowing someone has that gun in the raid. It's like you don't know who, but you can tell from what's happening that someone's doing something special. Another exotic that got a huge change was the tractor cannon, the exotic shotgun that boops people back away. Now it increases void damage to targets that are affected by it and can eliminate supers in PvP. This has been proven most effective in Escalation Protocol because people recommend that you give void weapons, and then once they boop, they do 40% more damage, and you're just melting bosses and ads constantly. And it brings back the idea of knowing someone has that weapon. You don't know who specifically, but you know it's happening. So exotic changes, A+ again, and the Catalyst is a great grind for the Masterwork ideas rather than just giving us a straight Masterworks buff that you can change over and over again. I like the idea of working for that extra bonus to your exotics that you already have, which leads into the next point of the grind. Bungie is bringing back the grind because there has been no grind at all in Destiny 2. You could just simply do a bunch of solo activities, reach max light level, and not touch a single raid or trials, and then you're done because you're maxed out. Now they're bringing blocks. They're bringing little soft caps, and if you want to reach max light level, which is 400, I want to say, you're gonna have to do the toughest activities in the game, like raiding or going flawless in trials, which I am 100% on board. I truly believe that if you want the best gear in the game, the most powerful or the best looking kind of gear, you should be required to do the hardest content in the game, or at least that the game has to offer. I am 100% on board on that. I know I've read a few forum threads that people are against that, but I'm totally on board with the grind coming back. And the fact that this game is meant to be played cooperatively with friends, either match made or found through LFG systems, or your actual IRL friends. So the verdict. Is this game, is this DLC bringing back Destiny to what it once was? No, it is not perfect, but it is, I think, is the first step in the right direction to fixing some of the damages that have been done to this game. If you've bought the expansion pass, I would say give it a try. Get your money's worth and see what you think. As for the future, the roadmap is looking great. With E3 right around the corner, I think we're due for a huge announcement, a huge new expansion. And then when September rolls around and year 2 starts, I think that's when we'll see the bigger changes come forth. But overall, I would say it's a decent DLC. It's the step in the right direction, and I think I'll be playing this game throughout the summer until the new announcements are made. As for me, my name is NoLimitsNick. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want for more, and let me know what you think about this DLC in the comments down below. As for everybody else, y'all have a wonderful day. Bye bye.